Gecko 135th British Bedford Radio Command Truck. Part 3. How to make SCC2 Brown pop. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, it's really good to have you with us. Right. Last time I painted anything in SCC2 Brown, it was another Bedford truck. And I just felt it looked a bit drab. A bit boring. So I wanted to try something, and this kit seems to be a lot of experimentation. So I wanted to try something. I wanted to see if I can get the brown to be a bit brighter and a bit more lively. So I thought I'd have a go at something. Let's get into it and I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, so there's everything base coated in that black primer. I hadn't realised how... No, I guess I had realised how involved this kit is. But there's a lot of building to be done. The cage at the top right took me about 2 hours to complete. Anyway, I thought I'd take a bit of inspiration from the guys that make aeroplane models, and I'm sure you've seen them do this. But it's basically putting the highlights on before the main coat. So this is Deck Tan by AK3G, and I'm just doing a squiggly little pattern, very random, but on all the bits that would get the paint fading and the highlights. So the bonnet and the top of the wheel arches and the center part of the panels on the rear part as well. I would say this will just provide a highlight that will shine through the top coat and make it a bit less dreary and drab. That's the theory anyway. Okay, so this is AK 3rd Gen SCC2 Brown. As I keep saying, it's not the most exciting colour. It's actually not too bad when it's on its own, but the last kit I built, it was with dark green, and it just all sort of splurged together in one colour. So here we go. So a light coat just going on, and you should be able to see that deck tan showing through. And it's a case of when do you stop building it up. That looks pretty good, I think. Just work your way around the whole kit and just building it up in thin coats. You can see it is sort of working there. But it worked, but I still wasn't completely satisfied. So I did do just a very, very light coat of a highlight, just on the same areas, and that really brought it out. And you can see it's not really a boring paint job anymore. It's worked really well. Okay, so I've jumped ahead a little bit. I've put the rear cargo area onto the truck now, and this is just the last of the decals going on, and this is going just straight onto the bare paint. I don't worry about varnishes. Just dip it in the water, and then plenty of micro set, and then it'll settle down nicely straight onto the bare paint. I probably need to say that I know that the rear compartment probably wasn't painted in varnished wood, but if you didn't see my last video, which I'll put a link at the top there, again, that was an experiment just to see if I could get a nice peeling varnish effect, which I think worked really well. Anyway, back to the decals. That's the micro set going down, and these decals come off the backing really quickly, so you don't want to be soaking them in water for a long time, because you'll remove all the glue off the back of the decal, and then just get it lined up nicely. And then what I do is, it's not quite straight there, so I'll just reposition it, and then once I'm happy with where it is, I'll just roll it with a cotton bud and get rid of all the excess fluid from underneath it. And then once that's dry, I'll go around with microsol and just paint them all with microsol just to get them to settle down. I just needed a bit more microset on there just so I can move it, and then managed to get a paintbrush under it and just flip it around a bit. Wasn't too far off, it just wasn't quite square. Alright, let's quickly skip to the wheels. I've painted the centers hubs when I painted the truck, and now I'm just going around with a rubber black marker pen, again from AK Interactive. This is probably the best use for these pens, certainly that I've found. It just makes it so easy. I am finding though that I think I'm going to have to get a new pen, because the nib is starting to fray a bit, because all I ever use it for is tyres. Okay, let's get on to the pin washes now. Somewhere in here, there it is. Sepia oil paint. It's going to be a nice warm dark brown paint, and then what I do is I just cut a bit of cardboard out of the kit box, and that just allows the linseed oil in the paint to leach away, and to make it usable. And in fact, I didn't leave it for very long today. I pretty much went straight into it. This is Universal Weathering Carrier by VMS, and I just make the wash on the cardboard. I know it'd probably be better if I mixed it in a palette, it would last longer, but this is just the way I've always done it. And you can change the dilution of the paint by keeping it on the cardboard, and then you can constantly adjust how thick or thin it is. And all I'm doing is I'm just going around all the raised details. So that's the compressor on the side of the truck, and then blending it away with the universal weathering carrier. Really simple process, but it really brings your model to life, as long as it's not overdone. But it's actually a really subtle effect with the sepia on this brown. And there you go, you can really see how that's brought all the details to life, and is a really useful tool in our armoury. So there you go, that's pretty much where I've got to. That's the truck, and it's starting to come together now. Looks really nice, really happy with it. However, I do have quite a lot of parts that I need to put on the truck. Hopefully I will get that done for the next episode, when we can move on to the weathering properly. So we'll do some canvas on the cover over the cab, and we will look at some chipping and maybe a little bit of rust. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's say, although it's a quick video today, it's been a really complex build that has taken a lot of time. So hopefully we can make some progress for next week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.